RBT family, what is the deal? It's your dog Willie Jack, and we are back, baby, back with more NFL action. NFL Week 8 is here. All right, we are at the halfway point. We are at the halfway point of the 2025 season. It's blowing my mind, man. I'm telling you, this season. Maybe I say this every year. I don't know, but it always feels like once the season starts, man, it just starts flying by. We are already at the halfway point, man. This is week 8. And so very time is getting crucial, man, for a lot of teams. There's a lot of honestly, you know what I'd say? There's a lot of parity, man, in this season. I think specifically more so than a lot of others that we've seen over the last few years. It feels like over the last few seasons, there's been like one or two like really high level dominant teams, and then there's another group of 3 or 4 very, very good, tough, competitive teams, and then it kind of waters out after that. So there's really 4, 5, 6 teams at the time. You know what I mean? But this season's not like that. Man. The powerhouses that were Baltimore and let's say Buffalo, right? Well, Baltimore is in the midst of a house fire. I love it. It's great. And then Buffalo, still doing well. I mean, they're 4-2, but they don't feel at all like the unstoppable force that Josh Allen and that team and that offense that they have been over the last few seasons or over the last couple seasons, right? Kansas City starts the season 0-2 out the gate. Now they've rallied since then. They're now 4-3, and they seem to be kind of hitting their stride, but they're still not like I said, they're still not the dominant kind of bully on the block that they had been. Philadelphia, same story, right? Still performing very well. What's Philadelphia? 5-1, somewhere in there. Are they 5-1? I don't think they've lost 2 games. Let's say 5-1, 5-2 at best, or at worst, right? But still, same thing applies. Performing well, winning games, not at all looking to be an unstoppable juggernaut. And so, and again, right? We can pull any team we want to say, but there's no one that's that clear cut kind of like dominant on some style of dominant run. And then honestly, the team with the best record in the NFL, Indianapolis Colts, 6-1, right? And then the one loss being on the road against a very good Rams team in a game that honestly, if they don't shoot themselves in the foot twice, maybe they win that game as well. And so, but none of us look at a team quarterbacked by Danny Dimes as a dominant fixture, especially in the league at this point. But yet and still, man, they are playing the best. They're playing the best out of anyone, and their record speaks to that as well. But thanks in no small part. And here's the part, and I know I've talked about it over the last couple shows, but this is what really bothers me about the league, about the NFL, and just about the way these narratives and these storylines get driven. There's rumblings of Danny Dimes, Daniel Jones MVP talk, and it's like, what are we doing, right? Just stop calling it the MVP award. Just call it the quarterback of the winningest team award. Then, if that's what we're gonna do, Danny Dimes is not the MVP of this league. Just because he's passable now, made so by the stellar play of Jonathan Taylor, right? And but we're so quick or so eager to like just dump all the praise, all the reasons for success on the quarterback, and it's so frustrating, because we know what Danny Dimes is. Okay, we know what he is. This isn't a revelation, and now he's playing like Patty Mahomes at his best. It's not now that he's playing like Josh Burrow at his best. Like no, he's not doing any of the heavy lifting. He was taken out of the driver's seat. Now he gets to sit on the passenger seat and just point out. He just gets to read the map and change the radio for Jonathan Taylor, who's driving this bus. And so if anybody's going to have MVP consideration on the Colts, it's Jonathan Taylor. MVP JT, okay? MVP JT is the only MVP talk I want to hear coming out of Indianapolis. Danny Dimes is MVP, man. Y'all got to be kidding me. Y'all got to be kidding me. Jesus Louise. Let that man get a well-deserved Pro Bowl, and we'll call it what it was. Thank goodness he was able to not get in the way of Jonathan Taylor leading this team to wins. Goodness gracious. But yeah, you know what? I didn't mean to just start on such a soapbox right there. It just happened that way. It just happened that way. But here we are, week 8, midway point through the season. Can't wait. There's a lot of good games this week. And then also, as we're getting into, like the heart of this middle part of the season, there's a lot of teams that are going through their bye week phases. And so this is actually a relatively shorter, I guess, game day schedule than earlier parts of the season because so many teams are on bye weeks, but still more than enough football to go around. Don't y'all worry. And then now hold on, something's going on here. I don't know if it's because I see more than a few of y'all in the views, and I don't have anything in the chat just yet. So I don't know if my chat's not working because that's been a thing that happened a little bit ago. I thought it had fixed itself where my stream chat wasn't syncing with the YouTube. Let me double check. Let me see. Okay, yeah, so I think something's going on with my stream. All right, I'm going to warn y'all now. All right, I may be having issues with the chat. I can see let me see what the YouTube stream looks like. Okay, so on YouTube, I can see some comments in there. They're not pulling up on my chat. It looks like Mon Dukes is in the building. Say good morning, Big Nation business, Big Nation family. Have a blessed show as always. Appreciate you. I don't know why my chat's not syncing for me, but I'll try to keep my eye on the YouTube feed itself. And then hopefully, like I said, maybe it wakes up and syncs up as we get going. But without further ado, let's get into it, man. Before we start and we run down this week's slate of games or today's slate of games, let's do a quick recap, man, of Thursday Night Football. Thursday night, Minnesota goes on the road to face the Chargers, and they get it handed to them. Chargers win this game 37-10. Carson Wentz, it's over, man. It's pull the plug. It's over. It's done with. It's finito. He's playing bad ball. I mean, his inaccuracy, holding on to the ball, taking terrible sacks, late triggers, like, you know what I mean? Like throwing the ball late or just, it's bad play. Like I just watch it and it's just painfully bad quarterback play, especially with the team, right, that we've seen. They have the pieces in place to compete. It's a team last year that was a 13-14 game winner with Sam Darnold at quarterback, right? And so, and we've been down that rabbit hole before. We know what could have been the reasoning or the rationale behind letting Sam go ahead and get out the building. Now, Sam didn't do himself any favors because he really did wet the bed down the road at the end of that season, but still played very well, and they were a top team for 90% of last season. Anyway, you let him go. You've got young J.J. McCarthy there waiting in the wings. You're excited about him. You don't want to delay his development any further than you have to. You let Sam get out the building. JJ comes in, plays pretty poorly, if we're being honest, for what he played the first 3 games. And I think in those first are 2.5 games. And of those games, I think he had one good half of football. In the second half, comeback victory against the Browns, who completely just kind of whiffed down the stretch of that game. Outside of that, it was rough going. And so he's out. Carson Wentz is in. And it's a tough watch, man. Week after week, it is a very, very tough watch if you're a Vikings fan, man, and just not at all able to be competitive with Carson Wentz being at the helm. So we'll see what happens there. The NFL trade deadline is approaching. Realistically, I don't imagine they'll make a move at quarterback. Not to say that they won't make a move anywhere else, but I don't imagine they'll make a move at quarterback. Who are you going to get? Are you going to get Russell Wilson? How much better do you really feel about Russell Wilson than you do Carson Wentz? Now, I prefer Russell Wilson to Carson Wentz, but still, that doesn't necessarily push the needle. Then what's the only other alternatives there? Jameis Winston from that same Giants team. I mean, that'd be interesting. Maybe letting him try to air that thing out, get Jettis and Jordan Addison up the field. But, realistically, I don't know what or where they can go. And so looks like they're going to ride this out until they can get JJ back in the fold and hope that maybe he can turn it on this second half of the season, man. But they've got to do something. And I think this what makes me. I feel terrible for a guy like Justin Jefferson in the heart of his prime right now, and then having to have these style of issues, man, outside of his control. And this is really this really plays an effect on the man legacy, man. There's a lot of guys right now. It's a very tough and competitive position just at the top there for receivers, and this is a guy that he wants to write his name, man, at the top of this era, as he was on track to do so. And now, for reasons outside of himself, man, he's his personal career or his personal legacy is, man, taking a hit, man. He's not getting a chance to produce like Jamar Chase is. He's not getting a chance to produce like even Jackson Smith and Jigba is, man, with Sam Darnold of all pieces, but still getting quality production. He's not getting a chance to produce like Puka. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, I feel bad for him. I've said it before as well, but it really makes me think about AJ Green, man, Andre Johnson, these type of guys, man, that are premier at the position, but they don't necessarily have, just the way they cards were dealt, man. They don't get the chance to lock in with a quality style of quarterback, man, and really show off and go off, man, and put them numbers up like we know they can. But be that as it may, we've got good football to talk about here tonight. Oh man, hold on, man. I'm not gonna just go glaze right past it, man. We didn't actually talk about the game. So Carson Wentz comes out, he's terrible. A quick early turnover in this game, and then the Chargers, Justin Herbert and them, they go out, and Justin Herbert throws what appears to be a pick six. He throws an interception. I want to say Buddy got up and returned it for a touchdown. I want to say they review it. They end up calling it back. And even on the review, because the whole thing is the ball can't touch the ground, right? Like, he caught the ball. He did have possession of the ball. His hands are in an awkward position as he's going to the ground. And so he hits the ground, and then he refolds one of the hands back over. But I didn't like the call, man. I definitely didn't like the call. I didn't think, and especially being that it was called an interception. And so I definitely didn't like that they not only overturned it and gave the ball right back to Justin Herbert and them. But be that as it may, man, it felt like that little early momentum right there, and then having that quick so sudden high, especially after a turnover by Wentz, then to have it stripped away, give the ball right back, and then Justin Herbert in the game, they go right down the field now. I think it was 85 yards or something like that, and then they punch it in and score. And then honestly, the game was just not really competitive in the slightest. Herbert finishes with 220 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick, and does add another 60 yards rushing. And then Orion Gadsden, man, this rookie tight end who from out of nowhere, right? But he's made a name for himself over these last 2, maybe even 3 weeks. Was it 3 weeks ago? He had that kind of breakout performance, breakout 2 touchdown performance, or maybe that was last week. But he's doing his thing. I think he got one of the early touchdowns in this one. He finishes 5 for, I think, 75 yards and an early touchdown. I think he got a taunting penalty on it, but he's definitely playing very well. I want to say this is 3 touchdowns over the last 2 weeks. I think in both those games, I should pull it up and see. I want to say he's been around 70, 75 yards and getting in the paint. So definitely kudos and shout out to him, man. Orion Gay, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it. Looks like orange, but with an O instead of an A. That's what it looks like. Orion Gay. Orion. I don't know what to call you, homeboy. Orion Gadsden, 5 for 77 and a touchdown, rookie tight end out of I have no idea where. And then shout out to Kamari Vidal as well, filling in for the injured Marion Hampton and Najee Harris. He has a very productive day, 23 carries for 117 yards and a touchdown. Lad McConkey getting in the paint in this one as well, 88 yards and a touchdown. And so Chargers roll, get a much needed win as well, man, because you still got to keep pace. The Chiefs are rallying, right? The Chiefs are getting back on track. They've got Rashee Rice back in the fold. He reintroduces himself to Chiefs Kingdom. I think 2 touchdowns that first game back, and so they're building momentum after, like I said, they start 0-2, and then now since that point they're 4-1 because they're 4-3 right now. They've also got they've got a winnable game against a Washington team on Monday night. Jaden Daniels has been nicked up to this point in the season, in and out of the lineup. He didn't finish last week's game, a game they were getting getting it handed to him anyway, right? So it wasn't really competitive at that point. But he is working himself back to full health. That team as a whole, Deebo Samuels and Terry McLaurin also due back Monday night. And so, we'll see if they're able to kind of snap in and steal one in Kansas City on Monday night. But that's going to be a tall order. And don't ask me how I got to Monday night talking about last Thursday's recap. But be that as it may, we here now. And so we'll get to it. And so, yeah, dang. I mean, I after talking like that, I got to jump to Monday night now. Now I got to. I just did this whole breakdown on accident. Got it segued into Kansas City. And so now here we are talking about Monday night. So the Chargers get a much-needed win after they had such a hot start to their season. And then they drop a couple, starting with that drop against Jackson Dart, his first start. But they're 4-3 now with this victory against the Chargers, against the Vikings, 5-3. And so still one game up and with the tiebreaker due to their head-to-head victory to start the season against the Chiefs, who are also 4-3 going into Monday night against Washington. So this is a big game for Kansas City as well. Just trying to keep pace in a very competitive AFC West division. The Broncos are the class of the division right now at 5-2. Followed by the Chargers at 5-3, and then Kansas City at 4-3. So they definitely need this win Monday night against a Commanders team. Again, like I said, everybody's trying to get back healthy and trying to catch their groove again so that they can make a run this second half of the season and see if they can build on last year's momentum, in which they made the playoffs, won a playoff game, an impressive, damn good playoff game on the road in Detroit. And so they're looking to get back to that place and then build on it with young Jaden Daniels, man. So that should be a good one on Monday night. Now, getting into today's slate of action, let's get it started. San Francisco on the road at Houston. Give me San Francisco to get this done. 21-17. That Houston offense is terrible, man. And shout out to my dog, Terrible Time, holding it down for his Houston Texans, right? But Houston's in a lot of trouble. That offense, just across the board, the offensive line is terrible. It's a bottom 5 offensive line in the league for sure. But then also offensively, like that scheme, they're just dead in the water. Like I don't know about y'all, but I can't even tell what it is they're trying to do or like what it is they're trying to accomplish. Like when they're like, I can't even tell I can't even see like ideally how this offense is meant to look efficiently. Like, you know what I mean? It just looks directionless, man. And CJ Stroud, he's paying the price for it. And he's taking a beating, he's running for his life. And then honestly, he's playing ugly ball, man, for the most part. But again, he is I'm giving the context that he's likely a victim of this circumstance because we've seen what he could do, when they do have, the things in place around him for him to be successful, man, calling back to that rookie season. But we're a year and a half deep in the year, 2 years now from then, man, and it's been an ugly 2 from that rookie year. So we'll see. San Francisco, Mac Jones has been filling in for Brock Purdy. He had some highs and then he tapered back off a little bit, but they did get a win in the last outing. As far as I know, I believe Mac Jones is still going to start this week as well. I'm not sure the timeline on Brock Purdy's return. If somebody is aware, feel free to drop it in the chat for your dog. Then hold on, man. I got to check. Let me check my YouTube stream. I do see somebody else in the chat. Y'all got to forgive me, man. The chat is not syncing. Or you know what? It's okay. Maybe it was just delayed because now it's syncing. Now I see Derpy in the building. What's going on, man? He said Bears got to get this win today. I need your Bears to get this win today, man. They playing them funky Ravens. I need them Ravens to take another L. So I definitely need your Bears to hold it down today. Definitely need them to hold it down today. And as a matter of fact, that takes us right into that's the next one. Chicago at Baltimore. Lamar Jackson is going to be out of this game. Snoop Huntley will start. And so initially it was reported that Lamar had returned to practice. He was listed as a full participant either Tuesday or Wednesday. And then he was re-downgraded, I think Thursday and Friday, and then now ruled out of this game. And so I think what it is he probably, or what it seems like is that he probably could play this week, but it may be it looks to be a more favorable matchup because they've got a short week. So if he plays this week, coming back off of 3 weeks off of a hamstring, if he plays this plays this week. It'd be the first game in almost a month of really testing that hamstring. And then they have the short week because then they play on Thursday night again against the Dolphins. And so it looks like somebody behind the scenes, they crunched the math, they did the numbers, they said, you know what? We don't necessarily want to put Lamar's hamstring under such back-to-back duress with short, so essentially no real chance to treat and rest it between Sunday and then the quick turnaround Thursday. And so the decision was made, slow him back down, back him back out. We'll give this last one to Snoop, and then we're back-to-back right there at home on Thursday night. And now we bring Lamar Jackson back on Thursday in a very winnable game against the Miami Dolphins, who if they haven't spontaneously combusted by the end of today's game, then by Thursday, man, they may show up to the stadium smoking. Because, like I said, that thing is a pipe bomb waiting to blow. And so, in thinking of it and looking at it that way, it makes sense for me, especially with a hamstring and with a guy like Lamar, in which he's going to put that hamstring to the test. You know what I mean? His mobility, his speed and agility, like all those things are crucial to his game. And so it makes sense to slow him down a little bit, come back Thursday, and then when you play Thursday, it's essentially a mini bye because you pick up 2 extra recovery days as well. So it makes sense. So he will be out, Snoop Huntley in. And with that said, Derpy, your Bears definitely got to handle their business, man. The Bears definitely got to handle their business. Hey, man. Hey, welcome home, brother. Why didn't you say something, man? When you said, hey, you just came in. You know what I'm saying? When you said Bears, I just ran with it. But you one of them ones, man. You one of them members, dog. Come on, man. Y'all know it's big nation business in the building, man. Derby, what's up? What's going on, man? Hey, yeah, we here. Yeah, Bears definitely gotta put it on them funky ass Ravens. Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to see it, boy. I hope it's gruesome. I hope it's gruesome. I want to see blood and guts everywhere. That's what I want to see. I had this score. I've got Chicago winning 24-19. And honestly, that 19 could be a little generous. And the way that Ravens defense has been playing. Now, last week they played, they picked it up, man. They played probably their best game that they've played in easily maybe a month or so against a weak comp. But still, they have played a little better. But yeah, this Chicago team, Ben Johnson really kind of cracking that code and getting Caleb Williams going, get that offense playing well. DeAndre Swift had a very good game last week for the Bears. Also, so that Bears team seems to be rolling. And with this Baltimore defense being as susceptible as it is to getting its ass beat, there's a chance that Chicago could open this up a little bit, man, if they really get it going and get rolling and Caleb is hot. Then maybe this one can spread out a little bit. That's what I would like to see. That's what I would like to see. But be that as it may, they are on the road in Baltimore. I'm going Chicago to get this done 24-19. But yeah, man, I hope they put it up, man. I hope this one's ugly. I want to see 10 more points from Chicago and 10 less points. 34-9. That would make my day right there. 34-9 Chicago. Hell yeah, Derpy. Moving on, man. Buffalo on the road at Carolina. Carolina they're competitive now. I mean, they are still a little hit and miss, but when they do show up at their best, I mean, they compete, man. They can win. That defense has some studs, man. I'm so happy to see J.C. Horn balling. J.C. Horn was my guy coming into his draft last year. He came in with Pat Surtain. Shout out to my dog Chop. I was a J.C. Horn guy. My dog Chop was a Pat Surtain guy. We used to have those debates back and forth, and I'm happy to see J.C. Horn finally healthy, and he is playing lights out for that Carolina defense for sure. So this could be a tough matchup, man, as far as Keon Coleman or whoever's going to be lined up against J.C. Horn in this one. And then Buffalo as well. They've dropped, I think, 2 of their last 3. They are, they're 4-2. That they're coming off of their bye week. And so, now looking to get themselves recharged, and pick it up and go on a run here now to because they've got real competition in division for the first time in a long time with Drake May's Patriots. They're leading that division right now at 5-2. And so technically Buffalo's going to be behind them, behind a full game or a half game. Or loss is a full game and wins a half game, whatever it is. They're They have one less win than the Patriots. They lost head-to-head against the Patriots, right? And so, they need to pick it back up, get their own momentum going, and start stacking some wins here so that they don't, let these upstart Patriots, steal their kind of that AFC crown that they've been wearing unchallenged for, it feels like, these last, four-ish going on 5 years. So this is a big one for them. Now, it is on the road, and so Buffalo's defense also hasn't been, it's not been the Ravens defense. Ain't nobody been that bad. All right, very few have been that bad, but they've been gashed, man, for some explosives. Carolina, if they're able to get that running game going with Rico Dowdle, Chuba Hubbard working himself back into the swing and flow of things as well, being nicked up and bruised up himself. What does Bryce Young look like in this one? Can he get it going? Ted McMillan and that young group of receivers there. Jimmy Horn, I like what he's able to do, in his limited opportunities. Of course, Xavier Legette had a big game. Was it last week? I think he had a big game as well. So they've got a lot of young pieces there. That Carolina offensive line, especially when they're running the ball and running it well, I mean, they lean on boys, man. So I think Carolina's run game is going to be the tail in this one. If they're able to get it going, Rico Chuba in that offensive line wearing them down, J.C. Horn, if he's able to strap up and lock up against a guy like Keon Coleman or Khalil Shakur or, any of these guys, and he's able to have his way and really dominate that matchup, then this could be a tough road for Buffalo on the road, man. So this isn't just a walkthrough game at all. I do think Big Josh and Buffalo gets it done. I'm going 28-21 Buffalo. But like I said, I think this could be a tough one, though. This one's going to be a lot tougher than I think maybe it would look like if we just read those names. Let's see. Oh, Rini in the building said good morning. Have a good show. I appreciate you. Yeah, I'm glad the chat's working now, because when I first got on, the chat wasn't syncing. The stream wasn't syncing from the YouTube, but it looks like maybe it's resolved itself now. Sis in the building said good morning, RBT family. What's going on? Appreciate y'all. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, hopefully the chat's working going forward. Let's see. Moving on. Cleveland on the road at New England. Give me New England in this one, man. Give me Drake May and them boys. 23-20. Drake May is playing phenomenal football. I think I said it. Yeah, this would have been Wednesday. You can't name me 5 quarterbacks playing better ball than Drake May right now at the position. You can't do it. You can't do it. I don't think you can name me 3 names at the position playing better than Drake May is playing right now. Now, their schedule has been pretty soft, relatively speaking, to this point. That we do have to give that context, because they were playing with a last place schedule, but they've taken advantage. And more than that, they look good doing it, man. Drake May's playing fantastic ball. And so now you've got a Cleveland Browns team headlined by a running game in that defense. And so this is a tough one. I am thinking that this is going to be a grinded out defensive game. We'll see what Variable and his bunch do on their side against, this young Dylan Gabriel led offense. So it's going to come down to whether or not they can contain Quinshon Judkins in that run game. So if that run game is going, they're able to really take the air out of the ball and let that defense stay rested, pound Quinshon Judkins and cash in on those touchdowns in the red area, and then let that defense come back out fully refreshed and recharged. It could be a long day, man. Cleveland can definitely win this game, but I am taking the young hot shot, man. Give me the young gun, Drake May, to get this done. They are at home. I do think it will be more of a defensive game, but I am going New England to get it done 23-20. 23-20. Yeah, shout out Drake May, boy. I can tell you, I missed on you, but hey, I'm going to give you your flowers every chance I get to, big dog, because you balling. Miami on the road at Atlanta. Give me Atlanta 24-21 in this one. Miami, I'm just waiting for the reports that the Miami facility exploded. That's what I'm waiting to see, because this just from the team. You know what? Maybe I shouldn't say stuff like that, because just the day and age that we live in. I meant that figuratively, just to say that there's a lot of tension, there's a lot of built up angst in that locker room, in that organization, and it looks like they are. They're boiling over. That pot's been on the stove boiling. It's boiling water. It's hot grease all over the kitchen floor, because that pot's boiling, and I'm waiting for it to full out, just blow on up and see where all the parts land. Like I said, I imagine that thing's gonna erupt. Mount Vesuvius turned Miami. And I want to see where a lot of who gets moved, where they get moved, or just what they do, because it looks like a teardown is imminent. Looks like a teardown is imminent in Miami. But taking the Falcons 24-21 at home to get this one done. Moving on, the Giants at Philly. Now, this is going to be, I think this is going to be a good game. Those Giants, they're coming off of a very tough loss on the road against Denver. You're dominating Denver. Denver's 5-2, the second best record in the AFC behind the 6-1 Colts. You're in their building with your rookie quarterback. He's making his what? That was his third start. Was that Drake May's third start? Maybe his fourth start at best. They're up 19-0 going into the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter starts, they're up 19-0. This game finishes 33-32. Denver scoring all 33 of their points in the final 15 minutes of this game, and come back and taking this, not only taking the lead with less than 2 minutes, their first lead of the game, of course, giving that lead back up. Drake May, those Giants, they rally, they get down there, they get a score, they go back up, and then Denver yet again finds a way to come back and get this done on a game-winning field goal on the night that they were celebrating the life and legacy of Demaryius Thomas, receiver of those early 2010s, that Peyton Manning era of Broncos, in which they did get themselves a Super Bowl, went to 2-1-1. And so, of course, he tragically died at a very young age. I want to say he was 33. He was a very young guy when he passed away. And so the Broncos are celebrating him in that game. And they find a way to come back, man, make some magic happen, and steal that one win for the Giants. And the Giants as well, shooting themselves in the foot, kicking probably being the easy excuse to point to. They missed an extra point earlier in the game, which is why it was 19-0 instead of 20-0. And then also they missed was it a field goal? Was it a field goal or an extra point as well? I think they missed they missed another extra point as well, which is why they had 32. So when they came back and took the lead 32-30, they missed that extra point that would have put them up by 3. And so then when Denver gets the ball and goes down and gets their own game-winning field goal, instead of that tying the game and taking it to overtime, that ended up winning the game 33-32. So tough loss on the road against the a Broncos team that has a very stout defense, and they put up a lot of points on it and then fell short. So now they do go on the road against Philadelphia. Philadelphia, they've had their own troubles this season thus far, a little up and down. Some, where there's a little smoke, there's a little fire. Now there was some hard feelings, and so I know some hard conversations that had to be had behind the scene as far as the offensive flow, right? That's going on between Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown and getting some of these guys going. And then they've rallied and they've picked it up, especially of late. AJ Brown and Devontae Smith having big games just last week. And so they'll look to keep that momentum going against a division opponent in the New York Giants. And so I think the New York Giants are a live dog in this one, man. I do have Philly winning this game 28-20, but I definitely think this is going to be a very competitive game. This game for me was this was in consideration for game of the week for me. I think this is going to be a very entertaining, competitive game, man. Jackson Dart, the young duo of Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterbo, whichever one. Him and the young Jackson Dart, man, they are exciting must-see TV. They really are. They just have an aura of excitement when they're on the field and when you're watching that Giants team play, and they find a way. I mean, and they're getting in the paint, man. Like I said, this Giants team just put up 32 points on a Denver Broncos defense that's probably a top 5 defense in the league right now. With reigning Defensive Player of the Year, Patrick Surtain. They've got one of the best pass rush duos in the league in Nick Bonito and Jonathan Cooper. Shout out to my dog Coop. You know what I mean? So that's a very talented defense. They put up 32 points on the road against that bad boy. You know what I mean? And so what? 13 or 14 of those points in the fourth quarter after being up 19-0. So this is a team that can score, man. And so I do want to see how they perform today against the Eagles. And then also, if you're the Eagles, do you fall into the trap? Do you slip into a shootout with this young and unorthodox kind of offense that we're seeing put up numbers, man, to get in the paint by, again, Jackson Dart, Cam Scatterbo, man, Scatchaboo. So I think this is going to be a good one. I do have the Eagles holding on to getting this one done. Shout out to my dog Day One Game Jarrell, man. His Eagles, I do think they get it done, and which should be an entertaining game, to say the least, man, against the Giants. Give me 28-20 Eagles. Let's see, the Jets on the road at Cincinnati. Justin Fields was benched officially. That people, it's been called for. It's probably been warranted. It's probably been warranted as well. He was finally officially benched, and Tyrod Taylor was going to get the start in this week. Tyrod, of course, deemed out because not healthy enough to get that start. I think he's got a bone bruise on his knee. So Justin Fields will make the start today after being benched going into this game. And so this is it. I think this is the last drop. This is the last dance. It's your last dance, Justin. All right, it's your last dance. So go out there and put it out. And man, you gotta. I don't know, man. You gotta let it go. There's nothing. This is the freest that I. You know what? What am I doing? You know what? Give me the Jets. Give me Justin Fields in the Jets in the upset. The upset of sorts. We're talking about a Bengals team that are, a game under 500, led by a backup quarterback who just got there 2 weeks. And if they lose, it's still going to be considered an upset. But that's what it is. Give me Justin Fields and the New York Jets in the upset. I think Justin is going to go out there. He's going to play the freest that he's played in 2 years because he knows his time is limited. He knows he shouldn't even be here today. And so now getting the start because of an injury to a 35-year-old Tyrod Taylor. That's where you're at right now in your career, Justin Fields. That's where you're at. So it's now or never. It's put up or shut up time. There is no tomorrow for you, Justin Fields. It doesn't matter. Go out there and sling it. If you're going to throw 3 turnovers, man, have them be 3 turnovers on 60-yard pass attempts up the field, big dog. Go out there and wing it, cut it loose because regardless, like I said, your time appears to be short. And so go out there, go out with a bang, and get this upset. I want to see the Bengals take an L anyway, those funky bastards. Beat my Steelers on Thursday night. So I need any excuse to cheer against the Bengals and Joe Flacco right now. And Justin Fields looking at his own career mortality in the face. I think maybe that's enough to get him to rally and just cut it loose and go out there and have easily his best performance as a Jets quarterback, especially against a defense that is there to be taken advantage of, Justin Fields. All right, this is lining up for Justin Fields perfectly. Okay, you're benched. It's over for you. The guy they benched you for, he gets hurt. You're back in. All right, and not only are you back in after being benched, it's against, quite honestly, what's been considered to be the worst defense in professional football. I know we talked about how bad the Ravens have been. We talked about how up and down my Steelers have been. But one thing that's been universally not up for debate is that the Bengals are a piss poor defense. And that was with Trey Hendrickson, right? He was just the lone bright spot on a crappy defense. And he's been nicked up in and out with injury. Didn't play last Thursday. Now he's slated to play in this one, right? As far as I know. But still, right? So this is it for you, Justin. This is it, man. The universe to throw you one last fastball right down the middle and you got to smoke it. All right? This is your shot, and I'm going to give you a shot to do it. Give me the Jets. Give me Justin Fields, redeeming himself in an epic victory for his own career-wise, man. Hopefully he uses this as a turning point, gets this one done. 24-21, the Jets. The Jets. Let's go. And matter of fact, man, my dog. Wait, see? Hold on. The chat, I see y'all chat working. Shout out to my dog. I'm going to get y'all on the board. See, I thought about it. I was like, hold on, where's the chat at? Let's see. We got a couple comments in here. Who's in the building? Wait, he said, Brain Rot Songwriter. Brain Rot Songwriter said the Chargers got it done 37-10. Yeah, they put it on the Vikings. Now, I'm not going to lie. Brain Rot Songwriter. It was a little home cooking to start the game now. That pick 6 from Justin Herbert, that was an interception. Because the ball can hit the ground. He has the ball. He goes to the ground. His hands are just in a weird position. But he never loses the ball. Never loses the ball, man. I thought it was pick 6. It looked like a little home cooking right there. But then right after that, man, y'all go ahead and turn it up and put it on them boys. It wasn't close anyway. But it did smell a little like a little home cooking right there to get Justin Herbert a do-over after that first interception right out the gate. But what's going on? So I take it, Brain Rot Songwriter, that you are a Chargers fan. Are you from San Diego? You out there? Because there's no Chargers fans from LA. Ain't none of those. You from San Diego? Let me know, man. Tap in with your dog, man. I appreciate you. Let's see. British mapping in the NFL says his Jags are on a bye week. Yeah, they are. And honestly, and y'all need this bye week, man. Because for one, y'all got to figure out what's going on with Brian Thomas Jr. Brian Thomas Jr. is a stud. I liked him a lot coming into the league. I thought he was the conversation between him and Marvin Harrison, especially like in their drafting wise. Like I said, I'm glad at least after year one it showed. But no, I think he was a very elite prospect as well. He's got a very spectacular combination of athleticism and his skill set, but he's playing bad ball, man. And honestly, the thing about it is, Brian Thomas Jr., who had a fantastic rookie year, over 1,000 yards as a rookie, but him and Trevor Lawrence have never played well together. Because if we remember, Brian Thomas Jr. really took off last year when Trevor Lawrence was out with injury and Mac Jones was the quarterback. And Mac Jones turned Brian Thomas Jr. all the way up. And so now Mac Jones, he goes to San Francisco. Trevor Lawrence is back in the lineup. And Brian Thomas Jr. is out there looking like a pool buddy. And so I don't know what it is, man. What's the Trevor Lawrence and Brian Thomas Jr.? But it's looking rough, man. Brian Thomas Jr. is I don't know, man. They just can't get on the same page or whatever it is. And now some of that, not to just say it's all Trevor, because he's just not playing well as well, man. He had like 6 drops. He had like 6 drops in that London game, I want to say. But yeah, I don't know what's going on there. And so this is a good buy. See if they can reset, get back on the same page. Brian Thomas Jr. needs a chance to reset because he's put some bad film out there, man, these last few games as well. So maybe they can get it back going. They did have that upset win at home against the Chiefs. Still wasn't the cleanest of games from Trevor Lawrence, but it was a big win still nonetheless. You get that done, then you come out, you drop another one. So I think the Jags are what, 4-3? Are the Jags 4-3? Yeah, let me know. I think your Jags are 4-3, I want to say. They're trailing those Colts, who are 6-1. The Colts have another game today that's very winnable. And so after this bye, the Jaguars really y'all gotta pick it up and get it going, man, so y'all can catch some momentum and keep these Colts from really running away from this division with y'all. And then, of course, you've got the Texans, who are also struggling not to just go into a tailspin as well, man, with that offensive line and the way that offense looks as bad as it does. And so the Jags, man, y'all in a very tricky spot. Y'all got to come out of this bye week and run off a string of wins, and then probably hope that the Colts probably cool off a little bit to tighten up that division race for sure. Let's see. RTC said Jets 10-3. Ooh wee, 10-3, man. Now I mean, if the Jets defense, I don't know about 10-3, because Sauce Gardner, so is he gonna? He'll have to be spectacular. If it's 10-3, that means Sauce was out there, man, cooking. That means he put Jamar Chase in a box, and not only that, it means that Brandon Stevens locked up T. Higgins, or Sauce going between the two. I mean, so that 10-3 is a tall order, man. They're too explosive for that. And Flacco dishing the way he was Thursday night, and then just 2 weeks since he's got there. The game he got there on a short week, he got there for 3 days, and he the first game with him and Jamar Chase, 10 receptions, 90 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And then that Thursday against my Steelers, 25 targets for Jamar Chase. He turned it into 16 for like $160 and another touchdown. T. Higgins, I think, had 8 catches for 90-ish yards and a touchdown in that one as well. Then another touchdown he turned down, right, to win the game. So Joe Flacco and that offense are cooking. That defense still ain't worth 2 nickels. But that Joe Flacco and that offense, man, they cooking. So 10-3 is a tall order, especially with that Aaron Glenn Jets defense. They've been playing terrible, man. And they got some guys. They got Quentin Williams on that defensive line. Still one of the premier tackles at the position as far as his talent and ability. You got Sauce Gardner, excuse me, a guy that was thought very highly of. He's been paid a lot of money. He's getting paid at the top of the market as well. He's been a little up and down. And so they've got some pieces there, but they haven't played well. Yeah, 10-3's tough. 10-3's tough. I do hope they win. I want to see the Bengals lose. But 10-3 is a tall order, man. That's a tall order. Let's see. British Map said, now the Bengals going to win this one 20-3. They very well could, man. It wouldn't surprise me. I'm pulling for the Jets to pull the upset. Justin Fields making his last start, all that good stuff. This Bengals offense being terrible, and so maybe that's the spark that Justin Fields needs to get it going and maybe salvage his young career right now while he has a chance. But yeah, wouldn't it all surprise me to see the Bengals win this one and win this one convincingly? So I can't lie and say that's out of the realm of possibility. R2C said Colts are wild. Man, the Colts are balling, dog. Colts are balling, 6-1. Now, Daniel Jones being underrated, I don't know about that. I don't think he's been underrated at all. I think he is who he is. I think now he's just playing on a team that doesn't need him to do much. That's what it is. So I don't think he's underrated, but I don't want us to overrate it like he's a difference maker at the position. Because we've seen enough of Daniel Jones to know that he's not. Daniel Jones isn't an individual difference maker at the position. You know, there's playmakers and game managers, right? And so we've had those conversations. We've seen those conversations in the media, right? Brought back more recently at the beginning of the season, Cam Newton, giving his opinion on a guy like Jalen Hurts. Are you a playmaker or a guy that elevates and takes control and really leads a team to victory? The win or loss is on your back. Guys like Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Patty Mahomes, Joe Burrow, these types of guys, right? Are you an actual playmaker or a game manager? Right? There's nothing wrong with being a game manager because a lot of guys win those games as well. Because we're not going to act like Tom Brady wasn't a game manager, man. Especially for the first 15 years. And so, but your Brock Purdy's and your Kirk Cousins and your Mac Joneses, your Daniel Joneses, right? These style of guys are more so game managers. There's nothing wrong with that. But I don't want us to overrate Daniel Jones like he's part of the former. Nah, he's not in that group. He's not in that group. He's not Drake May. You know what I mean? He's not a Jordan Love. He's not a guy that can go out there and just line it up and get it done on the strength of his play alone. He's not going to elevate anyone to a victory. We've seen that story before play out in with the Giants. And so he is a game manager, and he's in a situation in which there's a very talented and balanced team around him. And so now he's definitely able to come in and not make the careless mistake, not put the team in trouble, not be the reason for a loss, but he's not necessarily a guy that's ever going to be truly the reason why we won. So I wouldn't call him underrated. But I am happy to see him having success, man, because he was a guy that it was some ugly, dark days in that New York Giants team and organization. And yeah, now he's rolling, man, for sure. Now, the Colts look good. The Colts look good, 6-1, and I was talking to start the show about how wide open this season is, man. Like the old guard of like juggernauts at the top, man. It's a new day, right? There is no more like the Chiefs aren't the juggernaut that they were, 6 years ago. The Bills aren't the juggernaut this year that they had been the last 2-3 years. The Ravens aren't the juggernaut that they had been these last 4-ish years, right? So, like those teams that were solidified at the top, they're not there. It's wide open, and the Colts are playing good, clean ball, man. Colts are playing good, clean ball, and they are rattling off wins. And I think thanks in no small part to the real MVP of that team for sure, and the guy who should be getting more MVP credit around the league, Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor is flat out dominating. And this is the thing about it, because what Jonathan Taylor's doing right now, he's got more than 100 yards rushing more than the next guy in second place. He's also got 10, 11 touchdowns already. 7 games into the year. He's playing fantastic football, and he's leading this team to a league best 6-1 record. So the thing about running back, there's been a lot. Running back is always a very, very talented position group. Right? Because you could be being a supreme athlete can take you a lot further in that position, right? Especially with good blocking. So good blocking and good athleticism, you can find success. But every back that has that same style of athleticism or ability, they aren't always able for it to translate in like win share. Like Jonathan Taylor is running this team into Super Bowl contention, right? So we've seen guys like Adrian Peterson's Vikings, right? with the terrible string of quarterbacks they had. Christian Ponder Adrian Peterson took handoffs from Christian Ponder. You know what I mean? Guys like that. And then an older Brett Favre at the very end, right? But had a team competitive and in the playoff on the strength of his legs. Like, that's what Jonathan Taylor's doing, right? So even when we think about dominant backs before that have been kind of the leaders of teams, well, LT still had Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers is a quarterback is an all-decade caliber of quarterback. You know what I mean? And so, like a Marshawn Lynch, what he was able to do in Seattle, right? Really be the rallying cry and the central figure of why the team is having such success, right? Now, we did see there were periods of fantastic play, right, by Russell Wilson, but in the heart of their championship runs with that could have been dynasty, that was all Marshawn. So, like, that's the type of production we're getting from Jonathan Taylor. And I'll say it, another reason I can say that as well is because, like, I saw Daniel Jones with Saquon Barkley, and they couldn't win 4 games a year, right? Outside of that one outlier year where they won 5 or 6 games either in overtime or by less than 3 points, and they ended up winning, like, rattling off 9 games and going to the playoffs and then getting. But outside of that one outlier year, I saw Daniel Jones with a premium talent at the position in Saquon Barkley, and neither one of those guys could find a way to win 5 games a year. So what Jonathan Taylor is doing, it can't be underrated, right? And so that's Jonathan Taylor needs MVP love, man. I say all that to say, respect the running backs, man. We got to respect the running backs. Jonathan Taylor should be the guy who's at the head of the discussion. I'm hearing guys talking about Patrick Mahomes MVP talks for a team that's one game above 500, and Patty hasn't played his ball, man. I don't want to make excuses for it. Rashee Rice and whatever, dog. He hasn't played the cleanest ball. When he's good, he's good. Are we back? Okay, here we go. Yeah, for some reason, man, I think the stream froze on me, but it looks like we're back. If somebody's able to in the chat, let me know, man. We still live and back. Y'all can hear me because it shows me that the stream is back after we froze for a hot second there. But okay, yeah, good. Okay, it looks like we back. It looks like we back. Let me see. Let me catch up on this chat, man. The Chargers are back after that win. Are they, though? A win at home against the Carson Wentz-led Vikings. Carson Wentz is playing bottom 5 quarterback play in this league, big dog. I don't know if we can claim that the Chargers are back after beating up on Carson Wentz and the Vikings, but it was a big win, and y'all still do need to get some momentum going back. So y'all did need this win to kind of rally back and now rebuild that momentum that y'all started the year with. But I don't necessarily think this is the game to say y'all full-fledged back. I think y'all got to rally. Who y'all got next? Let me see who the Chargers got next. I think y'all need to stack another win on top of this one and really kind of show that y'all are back if that's the case. Let's see. Stock said, yeah, Daniel Jones was the missing piece. Yeah, no, for sure he was. And the bigger thing about it is that it's not like they just needed a guy that wouldn't cost them the game. Like Anthony Richardson was just costing them games. He just couldn't take what was there. Like the Colts and Shane Steichen, all they're doing is asking Daniel Jones, don't miss any layups and hit your free throws. If you don't miss any layups and you can hit your free throws, you'll win a lot of games here. And that's what he's doing, right? But they're not asking him to go ISO. He's not playing ISO ball on the wing. When we get less than 6 seconds on the shot clock, we don't give the ball to Daniel Jones and clear it out and let him go win us the game. We're not asking him to do that. Like, nah, we need you to hit these open layups, right? We need you to cut to the basket, make this layup because Jonathan Taylor's on the wing. Jonathan Taylor's playing ISO ball. He's giving boys the business, getting double and triple teamed, and he's still going to the cup. He's still pulling up from deep, right? That's Jonathan Taylor's job. Daniel Jones, we need you to sit in the corner, hit the open jumper. When Jonathan Taylor gives it to you, hit the open jumper. And when you get to the free throw line, knock down your free throws. So that's what they asking Daniel Jones to do. And he's doing a fantastic job at that. But It deserves credit, but I don't want to overblow it as well. I don't want any question. This is Jonathan Taylor's team. And if anybody's going to be an MVP candidate on the Colts, his name better start with Jonathan and end with Taylor. That's all I'm saying. But no, Daniel Jones is doing well, man. I am happy for him. For sure. Let's see. Sixes, man, look, y'all killing me with the names, dog. Sish. Where you from, homeboy? Where you from and what's your team? He said no Fields, though. I'm probably behind on that comment. I'm not sure. No. Oh, you talking about the Jets? No. Tyrod got ruled out. What I saw was that Tyrod, like Justin Fields had got benched and Tyrod was going to start, but then Tyrod ended up getting ruled out because he's got a bone bruise on his knee. So Tyrod was supposed to start because they were benching Justin Fields officially, but then he ended up being downgraded to out because of the knee injury. I think he has a bone bruise, and so Justin Fields is supposed to start again today. Is what I saw. Now, unless there was another update, man, and let me know if they went back on that again or if they changed, if something changed. But yeah, as far as I saw, Tyrod was supposed to start, but he got pulled because of his bone bruise on his knee. So Justin Fields is gonna have one last chance. Okay, yeah, there we go. Yeah, Stockside. Yeah. He got yeah. They ended up ruling him out. He was supposed to start though. He was supposed to start. Okay, Six said, look at the Patriots. They'll try to tell me they won't be the number one seed in the AFC. Bro, I feel you, bro. I feel you. Because and I was talking about that at the beginning of the show as well. Like Drake May's balling. They are playing that last place schedule, right? But Drake May and them Patriots is balling. And I agree. It's going to really come down to, this is what it's going to come down to, Sixes. Like the Colts. Because do the Colts hold on to their momentum? Because the Colts are still number one right now. They're 6-1. The Patriots are 5-2. So do the Colts hold on? Like, right? So do they just trade win for win with the Patriots? And I don't know if they play each other this year, if we'll get a head-to-head matchup with them two. If that's on the schedule, then that very well could be a game that decides the number one seed if they both continue on their current trajectories. But no, I'm with you there, though. Patriots have a soft schedule, and they're playing well. And I said it. I've been saying it for the last couple weeks. Like, bro, how many quarterbacks are playing better than Drake May right now? There's 3 quarterbacks playing better than Drake May in the National Football League, man. Not for my money. And for my money, honestly, I think after this week, I'm going to update my power rankings, right? So I'm going to update the team power rankings, and I'm going to introduce my player power rankings. Now that we got to the halfway point, I really wanted to see a chance to see how guys are playing. I didn't want to do it too premature. And so I've got some rankings, man. Probably, you know what? Probably on Wednesday show, we'll probably do the mid-season power rankings update, you know what I mean? And so I'll rank guys, but I'm working on it now. How many guys are playing better than Drake May? Y'all tell me that. Because Drake May looking top 2, and he might not be number 2, man. He's looking top 2, 3-ish. He might not be number 2 or number 3. If you ask me, I'm with you. RGC, man, y'all started out hot. Y'all got those injuries really took a toll, man. Losing Rashawn Slater at the beginning of the season, and then losing Joe Alt right after that. But Joe Alt was able to come back, and he played in this game against the Vikings. So you're getting him back. But that running back room is still in trouble as well. You're still without Amari and Hampton. You're still without Najee Harris. Kamani Vidal had a big game against those Vikings. But, you know, I don't necessarily know how much faith they're going to put in him for however much longer he may need to start. Said Anthony Richardson might lose his job. Man, Anthony Richardson's job been gone. Unless you're talking about losing his job as the backup. Yeah, he been out of there. So the Chiefs are sadly back as well. Well, see, they look like it. Well, they look like they're ready to be back, but they're still 4-3. So that's the thing about the Chiefs is like, because they're 4-3. They had a very impressive win against the Detroit Lions. That's a very impressive win. It was a Sunday or Monday night. Detroit, who was playing just as hot as anybody, playing just as dominant as anybody, right? They opened the year with a loss in which it felt like they were just physically dominated against the Packers week 1. Then after that, they ran off 5 straight. right back on road, right? But then they go to Kansas City, and they take a thumping in Kansas City. Kansas City pretty much was in control of that one. Detroit, with the aggressive style that they did, they took them. They probably took a couple scoring opportunities away from themselves, going for it on fourth down, pushing the envelope. But you win big. What makes you think they make you smile, make you cry. And so when you don't convert those fourth downs and you don't take the points, and then the game can spread out on you, and you put yourself in too deep of a hole. And I think that's what the Lions did when they played the Chiefs. But also, I'm not going to act like I didn't see the Chiefs just the week before that go and lose to a weak Trevor Lawrence-led Jacksonville Jaguars team. You know what I mean? And in that game, Patrick Mahomes threw a 96-yard, 99-yard pick six, right? On the goal line. And then they lose that game. Chris Jones is standing there looking while Trevor Lawrence falls on the ground, picks himself up, scrambles, and runs a touchdown. Chris Jones is standing there with his hands on his waist, just watching it the whole time. So I don't want to act like we can't just ignore the inconsistent play that we've seen from these Chiefs as well, right? Because they are 4-3. One game over 500. They're 2 games behind the Broncos in their own division. They're 1 game behind the Chiefs in their own division. And I think they have losses to both those guys ahead of them head up. So, the Chiefs are tricky. They're in a tricky spot because when they're on and rolling, they look damn good, man. They look damn good. They look damn dangerous. And they look like they are, like you said, the team that they do look to be coming back. I'm not gonna lie, that their arrow is definitely pointing up, but I don't want us to forget. I don't want us to act like it's just been all peaches and cream. It ain't been all peaches and cream. It ain't been all sunshine and rainbows. So it's been a little up and down for them as well. But it does look like, especially with Rashee Rice back in this offense, it does look like they are ready to catch their stride, man. So we'll see how that goes. And they've got about the Chiefs, and because the Chiefs definitely started a little bit, and then they end up dropping another one. So they started 4-2, and then they've been 4-1 since then because they had that bad loss to the Jaguars, a game that they probably should have won. He said they've always been good. I mean, they've all petty for sure, but that offense has looked problematic for more than a little bit. Let's see. Elvis in the building said, okay, yeah, that's straight. Yeah, my fault. I'm catching up on this chat now since, the stream froze a little bit, so I'm trying to catch up on this chat. Let me see. Sixers got some fantasy top fours, man. Said Taylor, Robinson, McCaffrey, and Jacobs. If you got these guys on your fantasy team, you're making a good living. Not for sure. For sure, especially Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor's an animal right now. And C-Mac as well, man. Christian McCaffrey is my favorite back in football for about a stretch of like 4 years. Last year, I want to say Jahmyr Gibbs took over as my favorite back in football. So Jahmyr Gibbs is my favorite back in football right now. But C-Mac is still one of my guys for sure. But I love me some Jahmyr Gibbs. You know what I mean? But C-Mac's balling. C-Mac is top 5 in the league right now in receptions. He's top 5 or top 8. He's top 5 in receptions. He's comfortably top 10 in receiving yards. It's a running back with Brock, not even Brock Purdy, who most of y'all don't respect, with Mac Jones at the helm. I mean, so when Chris McCaffrey's on the field, it's 11 sets of eyeballs watching him. He's got more yards, receptions, and even receiving touchdowns than A.J. Brown. That's nuts. And it's not even his fault. That's not A.J. Brown's fault. I'm not going to put on him. But it just stands to speak to just the type of production is good for, man. Year over year, if he's healthy and he's on fantastic numbers. And it hasn't changed this year, so I do love me some Christian McCaffrey for sure. Do let me see how that is. This year, injuries haven't too bad for me, but I've had those years as well, man, where, got an all-star team, and 3 of them get injured. So, Elvis said he got Tyreek and Garrett Wilson. Yeah, I feel you. Hey, Sixers, exactly right, bruh. He's showing to be an excellent game manager for sure. And ain't nothing wrong with that. You can win Super Bowls like that. You know what I mean? So there's nothing wrong with that at all. And he said he got Brock Bowers. Yeah, man, what's the timeline on Brock Bowers getting back? Like, when is the top line for Brock Bowers coming back from that injury? Because I thought he was due. I didn't think he was expected to miss as much time as he has. Sixers said he's from Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. Okay. Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin, and a Packers fan. All right. You're a Packers fan. You know what, man? I'm gonna let you make it, man. Cause I'm a Steelers fan myself. You right? So we'll see y'all shortly. Yeah, we'll see y'all tonight. Sixers. We'll see y'all tonight. Don't worry, man. It's cool. You can post up, you can chill in here, you can parlay. You know, we can still talk ball. Even though we're gonna, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna put it on y'all ass tonight. Yeah. I hope you're waiting for this spanking later on tonight. But other than that, man, have fun. Enjoy yourself. You see what's going on in the chat, man. You know, talk to me. You see I talk back. And as a matter of fact, man, somebody in the chat, somebody say what's up to Sixers, man. Sixers, hey, you one of the members now, big dog. Hit that like, subscribe. Hit that like, share, subscribe button for your dog. Tap in with 3 amigos. Like, and tell a friend to tell a friend. And yeah, you one of the members now, big dog. Yeah, you one of the members now. Now, don't worry though, man. We can still be friends after we spank y'all ass later on tonight. We can still be cool. Don't take it personal, man. It's just unfortunate that y'all got to run into my guys tonight. Ryan got to have his revenge, man. Ryan got to have his revenge, big dog. Yes, sir. Let's see. All right, here we go. Okay, thank you. Goodness gracious, man. Here we go. Chiefs and Pat gonna cook Washington. Ooh, we 42-7. 42-7. Yo, 42-7 is crazy, dog. I do think the Chiefs probably get it done at home. Washington's been pretty beat up as well. Jaden Daniels been in and out of that lineup. He came back last week and then didn't finish that game. Now, also, that game was pretty much a wash. That Cowboys game, they got doubled up. They lose that game 44-22. They were never really in the game. And so once he got nicked up, they went ahead and just pulled it, just called it what it was, and took him back out the game. But he's still working himself back from injury. Terry McLaurin and Debo, they're both expected to play tomorrow night as well, but they're coming back off of injury, right? So that Commanders team is a little beat up, but 42-7 still feels a little wide, man. That still feels a little wide. I don't know if Jaden going out that bad, man. 42-7 feels a little wide, big dog. For sure. That's a little wide. Let me see. I'm trying to catch up on my chat. Stockton Mappin in the building said he's in the building. What's going on, man? Cheering for those Chargers. Yeah, y'all got it done. Like I said, y'all needed to win that game against the Vikings, and y'all needed to win it the way y'all did, like dominate, because, like I said, y'all do need to regain some of that momentum that y'all started the season with. So that was a much needed win and like a dominant win to rebuild that momentum for sure. Let's see, the Arizona Map and the Cards were doing so well. They 2-0, not 2-5. Yeah, man. And honestly, at the beginning of the season, I thought the Cardinals were going to be a dark horse to maybe even compete for that NFC West because I wasn't sure at the time what we were going to get from Sam Darnold and those Vikings. The Niners decimated by injury again, right? And then Mac Jones, starting at quarterback for 80% of the season so far. And then also the Rams, Stafford was injured. Like he was having back issues to start the season. They weren't even sure if he was going to start week 1. So going into this year, man, I thought the Cardinals may find a way to surprise some folks in that division. But nah, man, it hasn't panned out. And then honestly, unfortunately, Jacoby Brissett's probably looked, he was a little up and down. And then in that one they just lost against the Niners. But that offense did look like it had a spark, especially week 1 when Brissett came in for Kyler Murray, man. So I don't know what's going on there. Marvin Harrison Jr. Hasn't really lived up to his draft status and that pedigree, that the expectations that were put on him. And so the Cardinals in a rough spot, man. Sixers said the Chiefs are deep at receiver. Well, yeah, So, especially there at the top, Rice back, he came in. Come on, man. Did we free? I don't know what's going on with the stream today, y'all. It froze. Okay, now it says we back. I don't know what's going on. Let me know if y'all can't hear me. Let me know. It says that we froze for a hot second, but it says we back now, so y'all got to bear with me. But as far as the Chiefs receivers, yeah, well, Rasheed Rice back in the building for sure. You still got Hollywood and Xavier Worthy, so you've got 3 speed demons right there at the top, and then you got the guy Tyquan Thornton, the other speed demon as well. And then you still got Juju when he's not getting beat up after the game. He still finds a way to get in there and throw a couple blocks, maybe catch a pass or two. So they've got a lot of bodies in the room right now, for sure. For sure. Exactly. So we'll see if the Chiefs can really build and get some momentum going, man. And especially a big win Monday night against the Commanders will be I'll feel better saying that the Chiefs are back, depending on how. Right now, they've just been going 1 for 1, essentially. You start 0-2, and then you go 4-1. The one you lose, a bad loss in my mind, to the Jacksonville Jaguars. And the way that game unfolds, Patty throws a 99-yard pick six. Trevor Lawrence falls down, stands up, has time to gather himself, get in the end zone. Chris Jones is watching. So that's a bad loss, right? And so I want to see some consistent play, man. I want to see how they look tomorrow night against these injured Commanders. Let me see. Man, the Raiders on bye. Man, I ain't gonna lie. Somebody ain't nobody told the Raiders thought they on bye. I don't know if the Raiders know the season started. I don't know if the Raiders are aware of execution. I don't know what's going on with Geno Smith. That Raiders offensive line is boo-boo. And Chip Kelly, I don't know what's going on as far as that scheme's just not working, because Geno Smith is playing. I don't know what's going on. Y'all got to forgive me. I don't know what's going on with the stream. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with the stream, man. Y'all forgive me. Y'all bear with me. We're going to try to get through. It. Elvis plays Roblox said the game's going to be good, but he's got the Packers 23-20. What? Come boo that man. Somebody boo that man. That's a terrible score. You might got the right score, but that's the wrong team, man. Steelers 23-20. Yeah, maybe something like that. British Mapper said he'll take the Chiefs over the Commanders 30-20. Okay. I can see that. Let's see. Six has been our new Packers fan. He said, we talk about how it's Rodgers' revenge game. What about my boy Love? Not as just as big a game for him. Here's a chance to silence out the haters. So many of our fans think he's a bust. No, man, I like Jordan Love. I'm a big Jordan Love believer as well. I'm not gonna lie. I've been a Jordan Love myself. You know what I mean? I think Jordan Love is a guy, and I've talked about him on my show as well, man. But no, I believe in Jordan Love, dog. Jordan Love has the goods. Dog. So I'm with you. I really like Jordan Love. I liked him coming into the draft as well when he came in from not Nevada, Utah State, I want to say. So when he came into the draft that year, me and my dog Chop, we had a pod back then. But no, he was in my top 5 when he was coming into the draft for sure. And yeah, I'm a fan, man. I like it. I like his game as well. And it's funny because he's a mixture of both Favre and Rodgers. You know what I mean? So he's got that whip for sure. He's got a strong arm. Man, he's got a laser, man. I don't know what Green Bay's doing, but when they go get a quarterback, man, they go get those guys, man, to throw darts. But he's got that ability to throw high level, tight window throws, 40 yards up the field. and he could put him on the money when he's on, like we see from Rodgers. And then he also still doesn't have still have a little bit of that gunslinger and a little more of that risk taking nature that we saw from Favre. So he's kind of a comfortable mix of the two in my mind. But nah, Jordan Love is a stud. I like Jordan Love. I do. I like Jordan Love a lot. Now I hope he gets his ass beat today. But after today, I'm back on the Jordan Love fan wagon. And what's crazy, Sixers, bruh, Jordan Love was my fantasy quarterback. I had to bench Jordan Love this week, and then I had to sign Aaron Rodgers in free agency. I had to sign Aaron Rodgers, pick up Aaron Rodgers for the free agent pool, and I had to bench Jordan Love because Jordan Love is my fantasy quarterback. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. I thought this was a big. I predicted, like, I was thinking that this was gonna be a big year for your Packers anyway, even before the Michael Parsons trade. And then once they got Michael Parsons, I was like, okay, yeah, that could be the finishing touch that they need, man, that could take this team over the top. And then with their 4-1-1, they had that loss against the Browns. Now that Browns defense is tough. So it's still a game I expected them to win, but they do lose that game in Cleveland. Cleveland did a lot to win that game on special teams and on defense for sure, but they lose that game, and then they have the tie. Who did they tie against? And then they had the tie against the Cowboys in Dallas. You know what I mean? But outside of that, they're 4-0. Micah had that huge game last week, 3 sacks against the Cardinals, and so that's what worries me, dog. That's what worries me, man. Like, how is my offensive line going to block Michael Parsons? That's what's got me worried in this game, for sure. And I like Josh Jacobs as well. And you know what, for real, I tell you, I don't mind. I thought so highly of the Packers this season. I drafted Jordan Love, Josh Jacobs, and Tucker Kraft. I got all 3 of them on my fantasy team. Man. Now, they all benched. Nah, Love and Tucker are benched. I got to start Josh Jacobs. I got to. I got some guys on bye. I couldn't not start Josh Jacobs with the way my roster is looking right now. So outside of Josh Jacobs, everybody else for the Packers on the bench. But no, I'm with you though, man. I like Jordan Love, and I think honestly, man, the Packers are still. I think they're firmly in championship contention for sure. I definitely think so. I don't know if they'll finish as the number 1 seed in the NFC. I don't know if they'll necessarily get the NFC seed or number 1 seed, but I do think when it comes to playoff time, especially if teams have to go, if they find a way to get home field advantage and you got to go to Green Bay, Green Bay can make a run, man. So I'm with you. I'm not going to lie. I'm with you. Let's see. Sixers said 31-28 cheeseheads. Yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see, Sixers. You got to tap back in Wednesday, dog. We got to talk. Sundays and Wednesdays is when we go live, man. So Wednesday is the recap show. We talk about the games on Sunday, so you got to tap back in Wednesday night at 7 o'clock, man. We're going to talk about the game for sure. We're going to see what happened. I know it ain't my dog. NFL questionnaire back in the building, man. What's going on, big dog? Long time, man. What's going on? What's going on? Sixers said it's cutting out sometimes, but it's not that bad. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, man, with the stream. Like, my chat wasn't syncing, like, from the stream to YouTube to start the show. I don't know, man. I don't know if it's YouTube or I don't know if it's my stream software, but it's been acting up all morning. Yeah, he said things got really bad for that 0-7 Jets team. Yeah, well, yeah. So they benched Fields. He was officially benched going into this game against the Bengals. But then Tyrod Taylor is going to be a scratch because of injury. He wasn't. I think he didn't recover from the bone bruise on his knee. So Justin Fields is going to start today. But this is it, man. This is Justin Fields' last hurrah. Like, he's got to find a way to lead. They've got to get a win today, and he's got to look good doing it. If he's going to salvage his, this is it. Like, this is it, man. So I think it's all or nothing for Justin Fields. And that's why I ended up changing my prediction. And I was like, you know what? If the stars are aligning for Justin Fields to save his career, then he's got to go out there today and he's got to find a way to get a win against a terrible defense in Cincinnati. So if there's going to be any week that Justin Fields can redeem himself, it's against a terrible Cincinnati defense, man. So I think this is his last shot. Since you said that the Jets could be tanking, And you know what? I don't think they were intending to tank. I don't even think they have to tank because the tank means you're trying to lose on purpose. I don't even think they trying to lose on purpose. I just think they getting their ass beat. Like I don't even think they trying to lose. They just not good enough to win. And it's a lot of problems. It's not like Justin Fields is a big problem. Aaron Glenn has not performed well as a coach. You know what I mean? Now he's a rookie coach, and so he's going to take his growing pains and take his lumps. But man, there's been some coaching malpractice by Aaron Glenn as well. That's could be just as detrimental to the team's success as the poor player that we've seen from Justin Fields for sure. He said the Jets are going to tank and then draft a safety. Hey, you know what? That sounds like something the Jets would do, man. If the Jets had the number 2 pick at the end of the year and then drafted Caleb Downs out of Ohio State, I can't say that I'd be surprised. I cannot say that I would be surprised. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to put nothing past the Jets. For sure. Said Love is a nice touch on his throws. He's got some swag in the pocket. He just does the Favre thing too. That's what I'm saying. He's got a little bit of Favre in him, man. He can get a little aggressive, and he does have like he's got a rocket for sure. Like man, I love his arm. I think his touch sometimes can be hit or miss because there's time. What game was that? Where oh man, was it the Cowboys game? I want to say, and so he was a little long on some of his deep shots because he didn't even like you can even tell he was trying to just guide it, just like a little simple little flick, trying to get it to Marcus Golden. I want to say up the left sideline or up the left, like maybe the left hash, who had broke free. I can't remember the route, but like he just like without even trying. He probably overthrew him by like 4 yards. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so every now and again, I think on his touch passes, sometimes he could be a little long. You know what I'm saying? He's just got to harness that gun. You know what I mean? He's got a real gun over there, man. And sometimes he can't necessarily. Sometimes I think that gun gets away from him a little bit. But nah, I'm telling you, man. And especially with Matt LaFleur is doing the way he's progressing so far year over year. Like, man, Jordan Love is gonna be a problem for sure. And they still got to balance out that receiving room, man. Like Marcus Golden or Matthew Golden looks like he was a good selection for him. First time y'all drafted a receiver in the first round in a long time. He didn't fit the size protocol that y'all normally go for, but you still went with him. And so, you know, as he gets healthy and works into the guy that he's going to eventually become, Christian Watkins. What's the deal with him? I think they said I don't know if he's due back in this game, but I heard talks that he is expected to make his return to the team, you know, sometime in the relative near future as well. Then you've got Romeo Dobbs and Jaden Reed and some of these other guys. Tucker Kraft, very nice, solid tight end. Josh Jacobs at the running back position. So the things are looking good, man, for those Packers. I need them to take this L today, but then after that, y'all can do your thing. Yeah. After that, y'all can do y'all thing. You said, who am I starting? I'm starting A-Rod, baby. I had to bench Jordan Love. I had to go pick up A-Rod, and A-Rod starting today. You damn right. Yeah, you damn right. A-Rod got to go out there and remind Jordan Love, like, hey, man, hey, don't forget who started this now. All right, don't forget who started this now. Okay, maybe he didn't start it, Brett Favre, but Brett been gone. So, hey, Jordan Love, don't forget who started this now. All right? You sitting in my seat. That's my seat. That's my house. You know what I'm saying? I left the crib to you, but it's mine, though. You know what I mean? So, A-Rod got something on his mind to make sure he got little boys know who the king around here is. He said, hey, man, this is my house. You just live here, but that's my house. Yes, sir. Let's go, NFL questionnaire. Let's go, baby. Let's go, big nation business, man. Steelers 30-18, man. From your lips to God's ears, boy. Steelers 30-18. Let's go. Let's go. Stockside said the Chiefs are back on track, but they can get aggressive and add more help at the deadline. Man, and you know what? Ooh. You know what? I am curious to see who's going to be. I want to know the buyers and the sellers for this trade deadline, man. I do think that this trade deadline is going to be pretty active because I think there's a handful of teams that where like their season is over. The Jets' season is over. The Raiders' season is over. The Dolphins, your season's over. You see what I'm saying? So there's a handful of teams like that where the writing's on the wall. And honestly, the Cardinals for number 4 at 2-5, it doesn't look like Kyler Murray is going to be the guy for that team and that offense going forward. Like I don't think they're married to Kyler. And honestly, I don't think Kyler's upset about it. I don't think that one looks like it could be a mutual parting of ways. Now, I'm not saying Kyler's getting traded at the deadline, but just for a second, imagine if they did move Kyler. Well, I know we're supposed to be talking about the Chiefs, but I'm just talking about teams that could be making moves. But no, man. So I think the Raiders, the Dolphins, Dolphins, and who's the other one we said before the Cardinals? Raiders, Dolphins. Oh my gosh. And there was somebody else as well. But no, there's some teams that have talent that aren't going anywhere fast, and so they could be movers. And so for the Chiefs, and well, honestly, with Rashee Rice coming back, you still got Hollywood Brown. You've got the young draft pick and Xavier Worthy. They like what they found in Tyquan Thornton as the 6'3" deep threat. And then you still got Juju. You still got Kelsey, the elder statesman in that room. So I don't necessarily think they're going to be in the market for like a weapon. Now, a running back. Do the Saints move Alvin Kamara? That's been talked about for, honestly, probably since even dating back to last season, right? Or do they make a move to try to upgrade their running back? I think that would be an interesting addition because they need something. They don't have any juice in that running back room. Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco aren't difference makers, man. There's 3 yards in a cloud of dust from both those guys, so they could definitely stand to get more dynamic at the running back position, realistically. And then everything else, though, man, I mean, they're pretty set. They've got a stud D-line, Chris Jones. He's getting a little older now, but still Chris Jones. My dog Keandre, man, George Karlaftis on that line. I love their linebacker core. Leo Chenal is one of my favorite young linebackers in the league. They got Nick Bolton there as well, Drew Tranquil as well. You still got Trent McDuffie in that secondary. And they've got a lot of those pieces in the secondary outside of McDuffie. The names themselves aren't known, but that unit plays damn good, man. So Spags has got that defense teed up, and they're flying around and making a lot of plays. And so the only real like clear-cut place that I could see them maybe trying to make an addition realistically would be running back. Yeah, it would be running back. And yeah, I'm not sure who's out there, man. But like I said, besides Alvin Kamara would be the obvious one. Like the Dolphins, I think, are in position to maybe tear that thing down to the studs and move a lot of pieces and just try to get some ammo to rebuild. But I don't know if they're going to move Devon Achane. I wouldn't think so. I don't think they move Achane or Waddle. I think if anything, those may be the only two pieces that aren't for sale on that Dolphins team. So I don't think Achane is going to get moved. Yeah, I don't know who's going to be available at their running back market, but that would be somewhere they would need to look for sure, I would think. Hey, 60 said he also got Jacobs and Kraft. Yeah, hey, I got them both. I got them and Jordan Love, because I ain't gonna lie. I'm a fan of Jordan Love. I wouldn't lie to you. I've defended Jordan Love on this show, man. I had Jordan Love in my top 10 quarterbacks probably a year before everybody else did. I was like, nah, Jordan Love got it, man. I can see it. I seen the signs. I was like, Jordan Love got it. We just got to rein him in. We just got to fine-tune that laser, and Matt LaFleur seems to be doing that, man. So Jordan Love his arrow's pointing way up for me, for sure. Said start Romeo Doubs. Okay, being hurt. And Kyron's on the buy and the flex. You gonna start Romeo Doubs against my Steelers? I wouldn't do it, man. I wouldn't do it, man. I think my Steelers defense, they out for blood, man. We got to redeem ourselves against that embarrassing performance against the Bengals. I think my defense is gonna come out fired up, man. I think they gotta get some respect back on their names. I don't know if you want to start any Packers starters on your fantasy lineups this week. I don't know if this is the week y'all want to play with us like that. Let's see. 60 said, would the Steelers get a receiver in free agency? Man, that's what we need, dog. That's what we need. And so the names that we've been most attached to are Jacoby Myers, Chris Olave, and Rashid Shaheed. Yeah, Rashid Shaheed. So both Saints receivers, Jacoby Myers from the Raiders. I've heard talks of Calvin Ridley from the Titans as well. I'm not necessarily a fan of that one. And then before he got injured, dog, I think we were going to get Tyreek. Before Tyreek got injured, I think Tyreek Hill was going to wind up in Pittsburgh, man. That Dolphins team was a disgrace. Tyreek was making his feelings known in the public about how upset he was with the team. It was pretty obvious that he didn't want to be there. And so I really think that if he doesn't get hurt and they're still playing as bad as they were, that we were going to make a move for Tyreek at the deadline, man. So that was what I was counting on. But without that, Jacoby Myers is the guy I want. Jacoby Myers. I don't think the Saints are going to move Chris Olave, honestly. They've got something cooking, man, with Spencer Rattler. I don't think necessarily they're going to commit to him for the next 5 years, but I do think they're in a position now where they're comfortable enough letting Spencer Rattler rock for a little bit, and then they can start to build that team around him. So then maybe they do go get a sexy name in the draft in 2 or 3 or 4 years or something, or just whatever, right? But I do think that Spencer Rattler is good enough for them to at least leave him as the placeholder and build that team around him. And if that's the case, I don't think they're gonna move Chris Olave. But Rashid Shaheed, there is talks that he may be available. So if I was gonna rank the guys I want Jacoby Myers number 1 from the Raiders, because I like that he's a competent number 2. We don't need a guy that's number 1. We've got DK Metcalf, and he's our go-to guy. We gave him $30 million. We traded for him. Like, we want him to be unquestionably the number 1, and we want him to have room to fully be that top number 1 option on our team. So I don't want a guy that would cause that into question, or to maybe, like, I don't want anything that kind of throw off the chemistry that they were trying to build on this offense. I want a definitive number 2. And I think Jacoby Myers is a top tier number 2, right? And so he's got fantastic hands. He runs very good routes. He's very effective in zone. Like, he's a smart guy, knows how to read and sit in the right zones, and he's on time. And he can work that short and intermediate parts of the field as well to really keep the chain moving. So I think Jacoby Myers is the perfect complement to what we're trying to do with DK Metcalf. So I want him. And then if we can't get him, then yeah, I'll definitely take Rashid Shaheed from the Saints as well. Now, he's a deep threat, stretch the field guy, but he's still young, right? I think he's only, 26, 27? Or no, maybe, yeah, I think he's somewhere around 26, 27. And I don't think he'll be overly expensive. So I like that move as well. Olave, I wouldn't mind, but he's got to get paid. He's 25. I think he's due for a contract. He was in that same draft class with Garrett Wilson. They came in together, and Garrett Wilson's already been paid. So I think Chris Olave is due to get paid. Or did he get paid at the beginning of this year, or is he due to get paid? Either way, he's due to get paid, and so I wouldn't hate it, but it wouldn't be the top of my list. But yeah, I would go Jacoby Myers 1, Rashid Shaheed if they're willing to move him 2, and then probably Olave after that at 3. I don't want Calvin Ridley at all. I've never been a big Calvin Ridley guy. He's 32, man. Calvin Ridley was in the same high school recruiting class as Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper's retired right now. That's how old Calvin Ridley is. I don't want Calvin Ridley. He's 32. He's I'll leave that alone, man. But I'm not looking forward to Calvin Ridley. Jacoby Myers is the guy I want, though. Fingers are crossed. And he's been inactive the last 2 weeks. And I think it's because there's a trade. He's going to be moved. And so he hasn't played. He's been a healthy scratch. Now, maybe they're calling it. Maybe they're attaching some style of injury designation to it. I don't know the specifics. But for all intents and purposes, I think it's not a secret that he's likely going to be moved. And so I don't know if it's going to be my Steelers or someone else, but I would imagine, or I hope it's my Steelers that would make the move for Jacoby Myers. Elvis said his tight end is Hunter Henry for now. Okay, Hunter Henry with Drake May. That ain't bad. Let me see. Oh, man. Hey, Gadsden's balling now. I ain't gonna lie. Gadsden's balling, but nah, man. Not just straight up for Justin Jefferson. And I hate that. Justin Jefferson is my favorite receiver in the league as well. I don't know if I told y'all that, but Justin Jefferson is my favorite receiver in the league. Jahmyr Gibbs is my current favorite running back in the league, man. I really like Jordan Love. You know what I mean? But Josh Allen has been my favorite quarterback in the league, man. But Justin Jefferson for Orion Gadsden straight up is crazy, dog. Golly. Yeah, that's crazy. Just straight up? Yeah, that's wild. That's wild. Now, maybe you want to sell high, just talking specifically for fantasy. it may not be a bad idea to sell high on Justin Jefferson if you can get, if you're able to sell him at a premium. And this not because of Justin Jefferson, but just because of his situation. Carson Wentz is trash. And then when J.J. McCarthy gets back, he's not going to be much better. So if you are able to sell high on Justin Jefferson, then maybe you do, but you don't go straight up for a Ron Gay Gatson. Like, nah, that's crazy. That's crazy. He said Watson's playing tonight. Deshaun Watson? You lying. Sixers. Somebody confirm that for me, man. Deshaun Watson starting tonight? Somebody confirm that for me. Is Deshaun Watson starting tonight? I got to know. I hadn't seen that. Now, I did see that he was expected to return to the team, which is one of the reasons why they went ahead and let Flacco go. Or I guess that was some of the rationale, is that he is going to be coming back to the team sooner rather than later. But I didn't know it was going to be like this week. Somebody confirm that for me, man. Somebody, is Deshaun Watson back tonight officially? Somebody confirm that. Oh, Christian Watson. Okay, Christian Watson. There we go. Okay. Now I see. Yeah, now I just seen it now. Yeah, appreciate your question there. Okay, Christian Watson back. All right. Yeah. No, okay. Yeah, man, you scared, man. You frightened me for a little bit there. Boy, I was like, man, wait a minute. Or maybe not frightened, but yeah, I thought I missed something. Let's see. Bolty says he's gonna make some videos on the Steelers Packers. Go ahead, man. Do that. Do that. Yeah, man. Hey, OG. Yeah, I got to. I think Rodgers, man, because even last week Rodgers was a little over aggressive last week against the Bengals. He ended up throwing 4 touchdowns and he aired it out. But those 2 interceptions he threw early in the game, and they really came back to bite us because the Bengals scored touchdowns off of both those interceptions. Those 14 points off of turnovers, and it's a game we lost by 3. So those turnovers were big, but no. Aaron Rodgers was big game hunting Thursday against the Bengals. And I think Aaron Rodgers is going to feel the same way, man, in this game against these Packers. Like, I really think he's going to want to go out there and put on a show. I really think he is motivated to put on a show, man. So I definitely got OG Rodgers with the start tonight. For sure. Ooh, Elvis said, how many Dolphins will be traded before the deadline? That's a good question. And that we were talking about it because I think there were some whisperings that maybe if they would be willing to move on from Waddle, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what it would take to realistically move him. Now I don't know what they would want to let him go. First round draft pick, they did re-sign him. He's on a very reasonable contract, especially for receivers, right? He's making around $25 million a year. I think the watermark for like those upper tier guys is closer to 30, so he's at 25, so it's a very comfortable contract. I think he is a 2. I don't think he's a 1. He is a 2 for sure, but I don't know if they part ways with him. And then the same thing, like Devon A-Chain, he's playing well as well, but I don't know if they want to. I don't know if they part ways with those 2 guys. If anything, I think that they may hold on to those guys as the foundation of a young offense going forward, with or without Mike McDaniels. But I think anybody not named Jalen Waddle or Devon A-Chain is up for sale on that Dolphins team for sure. Like I don't think they're turning down calls on anybody else on that roster outside of Waddle and A-Chain, perhaps. And even with those guys, even with either of those guys, I don't think they're necessarily untouchable. But the price to pull them away might be a little more steep than people are willing to give. The Titans, that's who it is, man. Yeah, thank you, man. The Raiders, the Dolphins, and the Titans, exactly right. Raiders, Dolphins, and Titans. But see, the Titans don't have a lot of talent on their team. I guess the only real trade partner or trade value that they could offer would be Calvin Ridley, and for my money, I don't want no parts of him. Like you'd have to give him to me. I wouldn't go get him. You know what I mean? I don't view Calvin Ridley in that light. Then I'm trying to think whoever else. I mean, L'Jarius Sneed hasn't played well since he came over as a big free agent acquisition from the Chiefs. So maybe a change of scenery would be beneficial for him. But at the same time, I don't know if there's a market for him. You know what I mean? But he hasn't played well since coming over from the Chiefs. Jeffrey Simmons is an absolute stud on their D line of the Titans. But like I said, I don't know if they want to trade the only legitimate stud they probably have on the roster. Yeah, he's the best player on that team, so I don't know if they necessarily want to move him, but they could. So no, that's an interesting one as well to see what the Titans end up doing. Let's see. British Map said, what is the most interesting looming offseason quarterback contract situation? That's an interesting question. Let me think on that. Because now I got to think who's up for a deal for one. One that jumps out for me right off the back, honestly, is Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is due for a re-up. His contract is outdated. Dak Prescott's making $60 million. You know what I mean? How many MVPs does Dak Prescott got? And then also now looking and seeing how bad this Ravens team is. Well, honestly, they were losing games with Lamar, but now without Lamar, they can't even pretend that they're competitive. You know what I mean? Like Lamar covered up a lot of bad smells from that Ravens team, and now that he's out, man, there's not even any secret or hiding it. They're terrible. And so Lamar is up for a revamp for sure. And it's interesting because he still has official years, but his contract's out of date. And his coach, Johnny Harbaugh might be out of there as well, man. And so there's the Ravens fandom is calling for John Harbaugh's head. Like if you watch a lot of these blogs or posts or pages that follow, Ravens fans and stuff, like, man, they are coming for John Harbaugh's head. You know what I mean? And so I don't know if, depending on how this season plays out, if they lose today against the Bears and then they come back Thursday at 1-6, I mean, what, are they really expected to win 9 games in a row? 10 games in a row to get to 10-6, 11-6 and still win this division or even make the playoffs? Like, realistically, what's this season look like after they lose today to the Bears? Even though Lamar comes back on Thursday against the Dolphins, then that's probably a dub. But let's say at that point they're 2-7. They lose to the Bears and then beat the Dolphins Thursday. They're 2-7. Like, dog, I don't know if Harbaugh survives that. I don't know. I don't know if Harbaugh survives 2-7. And then let's say if they'll have 8 games left. So let's say even if they go 6-2 over the final 8 games of the season, Lamar turns back into MVP Lamar, Derrick Henry turns back into King Henry, and let's say they go 6-2 the second half of the season, and let's say they climb to, what's that get them to, 8-9, and they miss the playoffs at 8-9. Is Harbaugh the coach of that team still next year? And then if he's out, then also you got to re-up Lamar. Because if I'm Lamar, I'm definitely not playing on that old deal, not knowing who the head coach is going to be and what the team's going to look like going forward. Derrick Henry's going to be another year older as well, right? And so, yeah, I think Lamar Jackson's contract situation is definitely one that's maybe not being talked about that probably should be talked about. Yeah. Man, Pickens doing his thing, dog. I miss Pickens to this day, dog. I miss Pickens to this day. And I always say the same thing. Like, I understand why we made the move. I really do. He was immature, dog, and it was immature. And honestly, we're a team that's been struggling to figure it out at the quarterback position, and so we couldn't take advantage of his talent. There's been no doubt in my mind that he's a stud. He's a number 1 receiver. He's a stud. I was high on him coming into the draft class, even though his time getting to play in Georgia was limited because of his injuries. I was still high on him. He was a top 5 guy coming into that draft. And I think I called him in that draft class. He was the only true X receiver in that class because that was Jay Asin's class, who was a slot guy. Now, he's playing inside and out, but he's still playing Z, right? Because he's still inside, outside flexible. And he's the guy that they move him and he's off the line most times, right? So he's still not an X. Jordan Addison was a stud in that class from Pitt and USC, but he's a slot/Z guy, off the line of scrimmage type of guy. So the only real X in that class for me was George Pickens. And so I was very high on him coming in. I loved when my Steelers got him. I loved the potential that we saw from him. But man, we couldn't make it work, man. And then also, like I said, some immaturity, some things behind the scenes and things like that. So I understand why we had to make the move. But I am still a fan of him, his talent. I still cheer for him every week that he does well. He's balling. He's playing top 5. He's top 5 position in the league right now, man. Name 5 receivers playing better than George Pickens right now? I don't know. I think it's a conversation. It's a conversation. So outside of Jackson Smith and Jigba, Jamar Chase, and Puka Nacua, outside of those three, who else are we saying has definitively been better than George Pickens to this point in the season? And let's not forget, George Pickens is on a new team, and he wasn't even the guy on that team. CeeDee Lamb was the guy. So he got there. He's still trying to get himself going. Then they lose CeeDee Lamb, who was their stud, their number one, and then they look better. Dak hasn't looked this good. Dak hasn't looked. When's the last time Dak looked this good, dog? I don't know. It's been a few years. It's been a few years since Dak looked this good. And so, yeah, Dak Prescott's balling. Dak Prescott's balling. I seen somebody posted about Dak as well. But yeah, no, Dak's balling, and thanks in no small part to George Pickens, man, who's playing his tail off. So now I'm with you. I'm with you. Hey, British Mappin said we got 6 more subs till 100. Hey, come on, man. Let's get that in, man. Somebody tell a friend to tell a friend right now. Ooh. Somebody tell a friend to tell a friend right now, man. Yeah, did everybody tap in with the Three Amigos? Huh? Did we like? Did we share? Did we subscribe? The Three Amigos? Did we tap in? Come on, man. Somebody tell a friend. Somebody call their cousin, man. Tell them tap in with your dog RBT, man. Let's get to 100. Let's get to 100. Hey, matter of fact, we got to pick it up too, man. It's 10 minutes till kickoff. We've been in the chat. We ain't even talking about no games for a while. I think we still got a few games to go over. Sixty said he watched the NFL for almost 30 years. He's never learned to count the Steelers defense. His defense, and he don't care about this year's stats say. Now, that Ravens defense is garbage. It is garbage. But I feel what you're saying, though, man. And that's the thing about, like, these established teams, like teams that have a true identity. I'm with you, bro. You really can't count them out. That's why, like, no matter how bad it gets, when people say my Steelers are like Dan Orlovsky to start the season, Steelers going to start 0-6 and miss the playoff. Like, bro, y'all don't understand. But we aren't going anywhere. We're not a team that's going to go 4-12, dog. It's not in our DNA. That's not what we do. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to stay competitive. And so I feel you. And the Ravens are a team like that too, generally speaking. Now, this year, they've proven something different because we can't just act like they only look like this because Lamar's been out. No, Lamar took them L's. They had Lamar and King Henry when they took them L's. When they gave up 30 points on the road against Big Josh Allen and the Bills, like I said, when they gave up 30 second half points. You know what I mean? So, like, this is still that same team now. They lost with an MVP and an Offensive Player of the Year on the roster. And they still found a way to drop and lose a lot of games. Let me see. Say Rodgers would make Jacoby. Man, I'm telling you, dog. I'm telling you, Jacoby Myers would be an excellent. He'd be perfect for what we got going on, man. He really would. He would fit this offense perfectly, dog. He really would. He really would. Elvis said Dak is underrated. And you know what? I'm with you a little bit because I'm not gonna lie, man. Dak is playing like the same thing I said about Drake May. Like, name 3 quarterbacks playing better than Drake May. Name 3 quarterbacks playing better than Dak Prescott right now. I can't name 3 quarterbacks playing better football than Dak Prescott. So I'm with you, dog. I'm with you. Man, we got 10 minutes. I'm going to burn through the rest of these games, man. Where do we even leave off at? I'm just going to fly through, man. Tampa Bay, on the road in New Orleans. Give me Tampa Bay, Big Becker Mayfield, 24-20 to get that done, to get back on track after a tough loss against the Lions last week. Dallas, on the road at Denver. This one for me is going to be a damn good game, man. This could have been a game of the week. I like this matchup, man. Dallas is high-powered, high-flying offense against the Broncos, high-powered, high-flying defense. Patrick Surtain matching up against CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. And here's a secret for y'all, man. George Pickens ate Patrick Surtain's lunch last year when my Steelers played the Broncos. Now, the stat sheet won't necessarily say it. I think he had like 3 catches for like 80 yards or something like that. But he drew like 2 pass interference calls on Patrick Surtain that added like another 50 yards. You know, that's another 50 yards that don't necessarily show up on the stat sheet. But no, he gave Patrick Surtain some fits. And so I want to see him in this matchup against Dallas. And I think this is going to be one that goes to the wire, man. But I'm taking Dallas in that offense to get it done on the road against Denver 28-27. Man, that's going to be a good game. Let's see. Tennessee on the road at Indianapolis. Indianapolis should continue to roll, man. 28-13. This should be a spanking. Shouldn't be much going on there. Then, of course, my game of the week, A-Rid's revenge tour, man. Green Bay at Pittsburgh. I'm taking Pittsburgh 24-23, man. 24-23 in a tough one. I am really worried, man, I can't lie, I'm worried about Micah Parsons against Broderick Jones or Troy Fautano for that matter, but primarily I think because they move him up and down that line, putting him against the weakest matchup. If I'm Green Bay, Micah Parsons is going to line up right over Broderick Jones for all 60 snaps on defense, and I'm going to let him live and die like that. And that worries me, man, because Micah Parsons could ruin this game. Micah Parsons could win this game for Green Bay on his own. He really could, man. And so it definitely worries me. But I think A-Rod's going to have something to say. 24-23, that might be a little low. That might be just a little low. Maybe I should have spread that out. Maybe I should. I almost feel like I should add another score on each side, man. Maybe 27-24, somewhere in there. But I think it's going to be a tough one. But I'm taking Green Bay. I'm taking A-Ryan to get his revenge on Green Bay and get a bounce-back victory after a terrible loss we took last Thursday against the Bengals, and we'll get this done 24-23. And then lastly, I think we talked about this one a little earlier, Washington at Kansas City. I did take Kansas City in this game, 27-23. Now, let's see. Hey, we got 5 minutes, man, so we're going to hurry up and try to get out of here. But real quick, let me catch up on this chat, see what else we had. If I missed anything, good. Okay, we got a couple predictions. Oh, we got a Steelers fan from Cleveland in the building. Hey, what's going on, big dog? You see what's going on? You in the right place, big boy. It's Big Nation Business in the building, man. Welcome home. He said he's taking Dallas over Denver 30-26. Okay, I like it. He said he's getting his red zone cracking right now. He's taking Indianapolis 45-3, putting hands and feet on the Titans. My goodness. And he said he's taking Kansas City 20-10 on Monday night to get it done. Hey, Steelers fan from Cleveland, do me a favor. Tap in with the three amigos. Like, share, subscribe, and tap in with your dog. You one of our members now, big dog. Make sure you tap back in, man. Wednesday at 7, we do our recap show, man, where we go over all today's games. And, we have a lot of fun, man. I know you came in at the end of the show, but definitely tap in, stick around, man. And I hope I see you on Wednesday for sure. You're right on. Let's go. And then look at my dog Sixers, man. Hey, he said that cheesehead. That cheesehead championship, in the championship motion. Hey, we gonna see, man. I think we got something for y'all today. Man. But before we get out of here, if you knew, you might not know. But before we get out of here, man, I like to do that real member roll call, man. Shout out to everybody that was in the building today. And matter of fact, let's see. We're going to get it started. The first one in the building today, I believe, was Mom Deuce. A comment wasn't showing up at first, but she's in the building first this morning. Had a blessed show. As always, I appreciate you. Let's see. Derpy was in the building as well, man. Appreciate your home, boy. Let's see. Sis was in the building as well. Said good morning to the RBT family. What's going on? Brain right songwriter in the building, cheering on his Chargers. I appreciate your homeboy. British Mapping in the building as well. What's going on? Cheering for his Jaguars. RTC was in the building as well. I'm looking for the rest of y'all. Stockside was in the building today as well. Hold it down for Daniel Jones. Man, Six is in the building, man. Packers fan. He's going to duke it out with my Steelers later today. But, man, I appreciate you. Like, share, subscribe. You one of them members now, big dog. Let me see. I'm looking for y'all. RTC's the GOAT was in the building as well. I'm looking for you. Elvis was in the building, man. I'm looking for you. I'm trying. Hold on. Who's the new guy we just seen? Oh, I Drank Pepsi was in the building as well. Cheering for the Chiefs. I'm looking for y'all. My dog Questionnaire was in here. I'm looking for you, Questionnaire. I know you was in the building. I can't find a comment for you. Damn. There he is. And one more, man. Where's the new dude, man? Steelers fan for Cleveland in the building, 23-17. And we going to sign it out like that. Now, I say the same thing every week. So y'all can feel free to say it with me at home. If I forgot to say your name, hey, damn. Hey, my bad. But charge it to my head. And don't charge it to my heart. You know I'm thinking about your big dog. Appreciate all the love, support, man. Appreciate all the comments. Like I said, man, like to get in here, have fun, have a good time. It's always fun just getting here, talking about with y'all, man. So I love when the chat's active, man. Y'all know y'all talk to me. You know I talk back. Y'all see what's going on. Now, y'all got 2 minutes. It's T-minus 2 minutes. Update your fantasy roster. Tell the wife and kids to find something to do to get out your way. You turn your favorite team on your favorite TV. You get your favorite adult beverage. You hold it in your favorite hand. And good luck to you and your team unless your team is playing my team Sixers. Outside of that, y'all have fun. Y'all be safe. Y'all enjoy your Sunday. And like I said, man, I will see y'all Wednesday, 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock on Wednesday. Tap back in with your dog, man. We'll go over where Willie was right, where Willie was wrong, man. We'll have a lot of fun doing it. Until Wednesday at 7, y'all enjoy your Sunday. Peace.